Well, good morning, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Hope you're well. I feel pretty good. Like I'm almost better. Um, it's just a rough. It's a rough flu or whatever it is. Anyway, so we've had a lot of fun with silver. I can see over the night. We can start there. Comex is just a big fucking joke. Should not be taken seriously. It is not real. Come on, silver. All right. So we see gold 41.40. So it's holding nicely in the 41s. It had gotten to 41.80 and then for no reason, but options, it goes down to 40, about 41, let's call it. And then back to 41.40 and then back to 41.05 and then back to 41.40. This is all bullshit. This is all options. This is not the real price. Nobody is selling gold, knocking the price down because of a big dump. This is pure bullshit options. This is not real. So the question asked is, why do we look at COMEX to get the price of gold? Why do we pay attention to it? Well, the answer is because we don't have a price. We don't have a physical price of gold, if you can believe that. We know what the stock market is. We might know what tuna fish is or Coca-Cola, but we really don't have a physical price of gold. So when you own the physical price of gold, the only way you know what it is to look at this and say, oh, it's 41.40. And that's what they use to price physical, but this is the paper price. So there's this huge disconnect. So my thought is 10 times. So the real price of gold is 41,400. Because look at this bullshit, right? 41.80 down to 41.05. Well, what is that? That's just bullshit. That's not real. Nobody is selling the gold, so why is the gold price going down? Because it's not the real gold price. But in the real gold price world, it's not dropping at all. There's no droppage of gold. It's just going up, up, up. The demand's huge. So therefore, that's where I get 10 times because this isn't right. Now let's look at silver's chart. I mean, this is really bullshit. This is JP Morgan at its finest, fucking around. This is up to 53.50 at about 2 in the morning. It goes down to 51. It goes down $2.50. What kind of horse shit is that? Nobody sold an ounce of silver, I guarantee it. Then it goes up to 52.50. So what do you mean? It goes from 53.50 to 51 to 52.50, then down to 51, and then back up to 51.50, then down to 50.60, and now it's back to 51.80. What the fuck? What's the price of it? No, there's no clue. Is it 53.50? Is it 50.60? Is it now 51.80? No clue. It's at least times 10, so it's at least $510 because this is pure bullshit. This is pure options. Why they're using it to price gold and silver is beyond me. It's all price fixing. Madoff would be proud of. This is all Madoff. So you got to really ignore COMEX as the real price of gold and silver. It's just an identifier because we don't know what the real price is. Because if you can believe this, there is no real pricing of physical gold and silver. How the fuck does that happen? So here's gold, but we don't really know what it's worth because we don't really have a price on it. And everybody looks to COMEX, which is price fixing it, to come up with the real price of gold and silver. These people need their head examined. Mark McGuire, Alligator, all these guys have to have their head examined that if they think this is the real price of gold and silver. This is a paper option price, which is all diluted. It is not the physical price of gold. It's at least 10 times higher. If you just use that as a measure, then this is why I walk into the coin store and they're using COMEX, and I'm buying and doing somersaults out the door because I know it's not worth this. It's worth much more. But if that's what they're going to do, that's what these stores sell it for. If they want to be stupid, fine. If I'm running a store, I'm not selling 1 ounce of gold anywhere near 4,139. So we see it keep going up. We're still not close. Again, here's COMEX, and here's the real price. The real price of gold and silver is up here. Here's the COMEX price, which is purely options and derivatives. It's purely price fixing. It's purely bullshit options. And since when do options price anything? They're just fucking options, trading places. Do you think the orange juice price was really 20? Was it 142 or 26? What was the real price of orange juice? Nobody knows. Big joke, full of shit. So keep that in mind. Just keep buying and buying and buying. Then I was watching some idiot. We'll get into football in a minute.
I highly recommend you partner with Elon Musk on Project Colossus before it's too late.
Ah, shut up.
Primarily by creating.
Okay. So I found this moron. If you ever see him, don't watch him. He's a MMT, so he's a Keynesian. So he starts talking about debasement. So here's the definition of debasement, and I'm going to play it once, and then we're all going to throw up. Hi, David, and I just want you to see it. Listen, if you see this guy, run, okay?
More money out of thin air. So the way you debate. What I'm referring to right now. Step number 2. Now, before I go into this plot twist and tell you why that chart we were just looking at is completely incorrect and will lead you to incorrect conclusions, let's make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to go straight to the Google AI overview, and we're going to find out, well, what is currency debasement? I mean, it's one of these words that's just thrown around all the time, but we have to get our definitions correct. So let's get into it. Here's how it works, what it is. Modern monetary debasement in a fiat system where currency is not tied to a physical commodity like gold. Debasement occurs through monetary policy decisions, primarily by creating more money out of thin air. So,
okay, that's totally wrong. There's no such thing as debasement. The only thing that debasement is pulling the gold and silver out of the coins. That's debasement. Pulling the gold and silver out of coins. There is no such thing as what he just said is just made up fantasy. What they're doing is inflating the money supply. They're creating money out of thin air. That's called inflation, money printing, making the money worthless. Hence, you go into gold and silver. When he says modern monetary theory, that's MMT, that's Keynesian, that's socialism. So they want to talk debasement because in their narrative, inflation's price is going up. But we know in our world, inflation is money being printed. you're inflating the money supply, making it worthless, but they don't want to say that. So that's as much as I want to see from this guy. He's a fucking idiot. But just the point of the debasement is that it's coins. It's pulling gold and silver out of coin. I don't know why it's so difficult. Everybody wants to say debasement is money printing or whatever. That's called inflation, not debasement. But they want to keep inflation as prices going up. And they're all in their own little world. The Keynesians trying to prove that you can print money, I guess. I don't know. A little before he says, well, you should buy hard assets like Bitcoin. So as soon as I heard that, I turned them off. I just happened to hear this before I turned them off. Bitcoin is not a hard asset. Bitcoin isn't an asset at all. Bitcoin is nothing. There's nothing real in Bitcoin. So why would you listen to it? So understand that Bitcoin is just make believe, made off. It's not money. If you want to stay in money, you stay in gold and silver. If you want to buy an investment or an asset, you buy a Rolex, you buy a Mantle card or a Tom Brady card, or you buy a Picasso or like I got here, a Van Gogh, although it's just a copy. It's not real. But that's what you buy. Things that are short supply, high demand. Rolex is very short supply. Mantle cards that are good, very short supply. Montana rookies, PSA 10s. Brady rookies, PSA 10. These are very short supply, highly demanded. That's the key to it. So what this idiot's talking about, MMT or debasement, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But that's it. That's what you have. So ignore anything debasement is taking gold and silver out of the Roman coins. You're debasing the coin by now it's not worth anything. It was worth something because it was an ounce of gold is now not an ounce of gold as they keep taking it away, causing it to be worth nothing. So that is, you can't debase this. This is not, there's no gold and silver in this to debase. So this whole argument of debasement, you've got to be kidding me. Just a second. All right, so that is that. That's why we look at gold and silver. It's real money that can't be debased. You get an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver, you know it's an ounce of gold or it's an ounce of silver. If they start debasing it, when you take it to the store, he'll know it won't be 1 ounce. So that's our protection from these idiots debasing, not even know what it means, debasing the money supply or inflating the money supply, which is inflating, which makes it worth nothing. That's the whole idea here. They're printing the money to nothing, making it have no value. And we go into gold and silver because it has it. But yet still, idiots, they don't even know what it is. They want to make up a word debasement, which is not real. The MMT guys, well, as soon as you hear that, you want to throw up. They're a bunch of morons. TK, what is that guy's name? I don't know. I have no idea. I just ran through the video, but If you want to know what it is to stay away from it, his name is George Kamen. And I would not listen to him, and I would stay away from him. Bad boy. He's a bad boy. He's a bad man. All right, one of these idiots. So just avoid it. Silver's getting back to 52. At least silver's over 50, pretty much over 51. I don't know what happened when it hit 53. And if you notice, when it hits like 52, it kind of goes back, and then it finally breaks, and then it goes to 53, then it gets cut back, and then it kind of breaks. So once you see it hit 53, even if it comes back, you know it's going over 53. At this point, this should just be a straight line up to 75. I really don't know why silver's stopping like that, but it's okay. It's just going to keep going because nobody's selling it. It's all options, and people can't pay off the options because they don't have the physical. There is no physical gold or silver in COMEX to pay off these. So when you see gold and silver come into the country, it's to pay off these options. It's not so we go on the gold standard. We're not smart enough to go on the gold standard. George Soros does not want us on the gold standard. We're not on it. He wants us. He wants the dollar to collapse, so because he's already shorted it, like he did in England, where he shorted the British pound in 1991 and made a fucking bunch of money. All right. So let's look at football yesterday. And if you have economic questions, just ask away. I can multitask. Atlanta beats Buffalo 24-14. I play the game over 44. I figure Buffalo is going to score more than 14 on Atlanta. I had to score 27-24 Atlanta. So I had Atlanta 27. They got 24. But what happened to Buffalo? They got 14, and that was it. So Atlanta maybe has a defense, and Buffalo is not. You know, they're playing a good team. So Atlanta is better than we think. And then I have Washington plus 2 against the Bears at home. At home, I have Washington winning 31-14, and they lose 25-24. A lot of turnovers by Washington. They fumbled too many times. Daniels looks good. Even they were down like 13-7, and he's just calm, laughing on the bench. Next thing you know, they're up. They're up 8. They blew an 8-point lead to the Bears. Caleb still sucks. They're using trick plays. That's what this coach does. But they're not a real team. So they're coming from behind and getting a win in a game that they had no business winning. They didn't look like they were winning. So they do win 25-24, but we win because we had 2. And now Washington's 23-3 in a teaser, which is why my teaser thing. So if I look at my teaser things, Denver now goes to 22-2. Play against Tennessee is now 20-3. Play against Cincy is now 20-3. Tampa 22-2, and Washington 23-3. And you asked me why I use teaser trends. Now, I know it doesn't work in all cases because of new players and new coaches. Like the Bears, you now have exactly 4 games with Ben Johnson and Caleb. I have no trends. I don't have data. I do have data on Daniels, and I'm starting to get data on Penix, and I have data on Bo Nix. I don't have any data on Cam Ward, or I got 4 or 5 games worth, and he basically sucks. I like how they fired the coach. So you fired Vrabel to bring in this guy because he's an offensive guru for Cam Ward, and after 5 games, you realize he's not an offensive guru. So how could you fuck that up? How do you not know the guy that can't work with Ward? But again, you make the mistake of keeping Ward. Ward's the problem, not the coach. So anyway, Tennessee's not going to get any better. But how do we do our teaser trends? Now we got a new coach for Tennessee. How are they going to be? How do you bet them? We were at least betting against Tennessee and winning every week. Now, what do we do? Do we keep betting against them? This is an unknown. So anyway, please don't listen to that guy. He's a Keynesian. He's a Bitcoiner. I do not recommend that. I just wanted to show you MMT, what he comes up with, debasement, which is not real. Debasement is coins. It's got nothing to do with money printing, which is inflation, but they won't tell you it's inflation. So they want you to believe that money printing is debasement, but inflation's rising prices. And we're going to get inflation under control. So they've created a whole new word called debasement that they want to say is inflation, is money printing, but they still won't tell you money printing is what inflation is, inflating the money supply. All right. So that was yesterday. So now I have graded the teams. I've got my new stats. I've got my new grades in. So let's look at that in week 7. All right, we'll start with Thursday night. We got Pitt going to Cincinnati. We've got Pitt as an E team. We got Cincinnati as E team. Pitt with a 21 defense. It's getting better. Cincinnati with a 31 defense. So their defense is pretty bad. We got Aaron Rodgers going against Flacco now. Is Flacco going to go to Baltimore now and play for every team? Maybe he can go to Tennessee and go to Miami and go to Houston. The flavor of the month, and the problem is he's really not that good. All right. My line, Pitt -7. The real line, Pitt -5.5 and 42.5. Again, Seattle, a Z team, Cincinnati, a Z team, but they are at home on a Thursday night. Hate those Thursday night games. The Rams are 345 to Jacksonville. I have Jacksonville favored by 3. They're at home. Oh, no, they're not at home. They're in London. That explains it. This is a London game. So the Rams laying 3 makes sense because it's not at Jacksonville. Again, let's fuck the bettors by having a game in London. I got the Rams as a B team with an 18 defense, and I got Jacksonville as an E team with a 20 defense. So they scored. They're winning like 22-20 is Jacksonville. So we got Lawrence. I'm ready to call him Larry, going against Stafford. Stafford's 10 times better. They got a better defense, an 18 defense. Puka Nacua, did he get injured? I heard something on Puka. Then they'll have Devontae Adams and Tutu Atwell, our next favorite. I love how the Rams find these guys. Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell. I think they went to UCLA. Puka Nacua, I think, went to UCLA. That's where they got him. Great receiver. Okay. Stafford against Lawrence. If this is a baseball game, we'd be all over Stafford. I don't know. I'm beginning to think these London games are going to be under because I just think you tire the players out by the jet lag. Now, LA played in Baltimore, and now they get to go to London. Oh, big whippy. Jacksonville was at home last week, losing to Seattle. Couldn't score. The Rams should have a very good defense. Trevor Lawrence stinks. He wants to run. He thinks he's a running back, not a quarterback. Jacksonville's defense, it's okay. But if Puka Nacua's out, then I do like the game under because that's going to definitely take away from Stafford. I think, I don't know. I haven't put a score yet. I'll get to the scores after I check injuries. It's a little early to check injuries. It's only Tuesday. We got to wait till Wednesday mostly, except for maybe the Thursday night game. Carolina and the JETSs. The Carolina is 242.5. The Jets were 1.5 point favorites. Hard to believe Carolina's a road favorite. Just on principle, I think you got to take the Jets as a home dog at Carolina. Carolina, an under team, a 24 defense. The Jets are a Z team with the 28. We've got Steve Young going against Fields. You can't get two more pathetic quarterbacks, right? Fields will want to run. Carolina, they don't have. Well, the Jets don't have a great defense. Carolina doesn't either. 24 defense. I don't know what you do with them. I do have Carolina as another team because they don't score a lot. And they got a 24 defense, so it's probably like a 20-24. So again, it's touchy-feely here. And again, the shit teams playing each other, which makes for shit football. At New York, I think, I mean, Young's so bad. Fields is even worse. Fields can't complete a pass. I don't know. I think you take the Jets as a home dog if you're really desperate to take the Z team. Carolina and under, the Jets are a Z team. So the Jets are scoring maybe 15, 16 points a game, giving up 28. Yeah, good coaching hire. Yeah, he's a good coach. Philly and Minnesota. Philly, 243.5. Philly an E team with the 24 defense. Minnesota an under team with the 19. Well, we know Minnesota. I'm going to put Wentz in for now, going against Hurts. Two pathetic quarterbacks. I think Minnesota's defense just keeps the game close. I don't think Minnesota wins. Philly, I don't know. Philly's off of 2 losses, and they're a 2.5-point favorite to Minnesota with Carson Wentz. You got to be kidding. Phillies, they got a 24 defense. They don't have that Georgia defense that would be a 17. Many does with the strong defense, but no quarterback, no offense, even with Justin Jefferson. So, again, the key here is Philly's off 2 losses. You get Philly in 3.5 at Minnesota, but then you're dealing with Jalen Hurts, who is pathetic. So you've got we haven't had the best quarterback. Okay, Rodgers and then Stafford, and that's it. So out of 8 quarterbacks, 2 good ones and 6 that suck. That's the NFL. Oh, let's have a running quarterback because we don't know how to teach a throwing quarterback. We don't want to use our receivers. So I don't know. I think Philly 2.5. I had Philly -6. Again, Wentz, he's just terrible. Oakland goes to Kansas City. KC 1245.5. We got Geno Smith against Mahomes. Yeah, there's no difference in talent there. A W team, Oakland, I'm being generous, probably a Z team. They don't score, a lot of turnovers, 25 defense. Goes against Mahomes, who's really starting to heat it up. He's looked good against a strong Detroit defense. They're laying 12. They'll never cover it. It's the NFL. They'll win by 10. They'll win by 8 to 10 points. They're not permitted to cover at 12. You can win by up to 11, but you cannot cover that. It's the mafia rule in the NFL. You cannot cover a big spread. Ain't going to happen. So KC's playing really well. Oakland apparently has no offensive line and no defense. So KC will be attacking Geno Smith all day. The total is 45.5. KC with a very good defense here. So they'll probably shut out Oakland. And Oakland, Kansas City should score a little on Oakland. They'll win 24-0, maybe. So this is probably an under game because Smith isn't going to do anything. And if they have a weak offensive line, KC's going to be all over that. So we'll look for that. New England, Tennessee. New England 7-42. Now we got a new coach at Tennessee. I don't buy New England as 7 points better than anybody. I am not a Drake May fan at all. I am not a running quarterbacks fan because when they get inside the red zone, you can't run anymore. So it's May against Ward, 2 terrible quarterbacks. They shouldn't even be playing at this point. Ward should definitely be learning. He's not ready to go. the first year. You've got to be kidding. The new coach won't even know what day it is. So New England, a B team with the 20 defense. Tennessee, a Z team with the 27. So New England should win this game. But as you saw, they barely beat New Orleans at New Orleans. I don't buy Drake May. I don't buy. Tennessee has a fairly good defense. So maybe we go under with the game. We will see. Miami goes to Cleveland. Cleveland, 2.5, 40.5. Miami, they're both Z teams. Miami with the 29 defense. Cleveland with the 24. We've got Gabriel going against Tua Tagliavilla. Tua stinks. Gabriel's much better than Tua already. They're both Z teams. They have no defense. Well, Cleveland's got a defense, but they're still giving up 24 a game. So I don't know what they have. Total of 40. So it's 2.5 and 40. I don't know. Both defenses are kind of weak, so it's hard to go there. It's hard to take Cleveland to win, and it's hard to take Miami in 8.5. So I don't know. This is a game you throw out because it's who knows. New Orleans and Chicago. Chicago 5.5, 46.5. And this is after watching them get turnovers against Washington. So again, they beat Oakland like 26-25, and then yesterday they beat Washington 25-24. So they're winning very luckily. They're getting these late turnovers and doing something. I think they're getting their secondary back. So I think that the Bears, I thought, was going to have a good defense and no offense with Caleb. I'm now turning the defense, I think. It's like Pittsburgh, too. They're getting their guys back, so now they look like a better defense than what they started with. And I think the Bears should have a good defense also. New Orleans, the Z team with the 27, and we're going to go with Rattler. I can't believe he is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Blows my mind. How he got drafted and how he's even in the league is shows how stupid the league is. They're like the basement guys. And then we got Chicago with Caleb. The big mistake drafting him number 1 when you could have had Daniels and Penix. So we've got New Orleans, a Z team, 27 defense. The Bears, an over team with the 28. I don't know what you get from New Orleans. The Bears at home, the Bears might win a game. You're at home in New Orleans. Z teams rarely go on the road and win. They might keep it close. They very good go on the road. So another shit game. Carolina and the Jets. New England, Tennessee. Miami, Cleveland. New Orleans, Chicago. I think we start getting better games after this. All right. Indy at San Diego. San Diego, 1.5, 48.5. Indy's an A team with a 19 defense. San Diego, an under team with a 21 defense. A lot of injuries on San Diego. They were using a runner from Troy. I loved it. Never heard of the guy, but they said he's the best guy who's ever come out of Troy. And I'm like, oh, okay. Troy's basically Alabama. Indy being an A team, I'm not really sure, but they do statistically are very good, although they had trouble with Arizona and Brissett, which leads you to think they're probably not that good defensively. San Diego at home. They did win last week. They're an under team, 21 defense, but they got some injuries. We've got Jones, who I'm trying to get so I watched the Arizona game to see what Jones is. They're running a lot of short passes, and then they're running Jonathan Taylor a lot. So they don't ask him to do much. San Diego goes with Herbert, who he's missing something upstairs. He doesn't look right. A lot of bad decisions he makes. So Indy should be a live dog here, depending on the injuries, which we'll see. The Giants versus Denver. Denver 740.5. The Giants an E team with a 24 defense. So their defense isn't great. How they beat San Diego and then beat who did they beat that Monday night? Philadelphia. You got to be kidding. And here comes Denver, 16 defense at home from London, lane 7. I think you got to go with Denver here to win the game, -1 in a teaser. Maybe an under. Denver with a real strong defense, but the Giants, now again, here's Jackson Dart. We don't have enough information to really bet on the Giants. I think this is a terrible move going to Dart. Yeah, he wants to run. Scatterboo is the key. Like you're giving it, he's running it in. So this probably be a close game. Hard to say right now. Green Bay goes to Arizona. Green Bay 6.5, 44.5. Green Bay a B team, 20 defense. Micah Parsons. Arizona an under with 21 defense. Again, we're not really sure. I see. Oh wait, the Giants is what? Dart versus Bo Nix, and here we got Love, who I'm not impressed with, goes against. I don't know who it's going to be for Arizona. They didn't. Murray was hurt, so they went to some other guy, Brissett. So we'll pencil in Brissett, but it could be Murray. And it looked like Brissett's better than Murray. Green Bay 6.5 has not impressed me. They barely beat Cincinnati. 20 defense, a B team, an under team, Arizona, which surprises you because you think with Murray they'd score a lot and not have a good defense, but it just shows you Marvin Harrison is terrible and Murray's not very good, but their defense is better with the 21. Again, they played nobody. Carolina, Tennessee. So last week, so you look at like last week, Arizona goes to Indy, loses 31-27. Now you're going, well, wait a minute, their defense is not a 19. So I think this game, I'm not buying. I don't know what to buy with it. I guess we got, if it's Brissett, maybe we go over. If it's Murray, maybe we go under. Washington, Dallas. Washington 2.5, 54.5. Off of the loss that they should never have lost to the Bears. Daniels is funny. They're down 14-0 or 13-0. He's just laughing on the bench. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And he comes back, and then they took an 8-point lead. I can't believe they lost to Caleb and the boys. Washington's an even team with the 21 defense. They do score, but they score like 25. Dallas is clearly an over team, a 31 defense. Daniels will have a huge day. Dak will probably have a good day. He'll still get his 2 interceptions. Don't kid yourself. So I think this goes over. I think all Dallas games, I think you just take over, especially here. It's a kind of getting big at 54. Be careful. Atlanta goes to the Niners. The Niners are 347. This was 45.5. I don't know all the betting going on over. Atlanta with Penix, very good. And they just shut down Josh Allen in Buffalo. And the Niners, I guess, Mac Jones, could be Purdy. Penix, the huge edge. They're both under teams with 20 defenses. I think it's an under game. Penix will get, he just kind of dinks and donks. He runs a little bit, a short pass, very, very deadly accurate. Mac Jones, I don't know. Guy's terrible. So I don't know. I would look at the under here. 2 under teams and an under. They held Buffalo to 14. What else do you need? Tampa Bay goes to Detroit. Detroit 4.5, 52.5. I like Tampa in the game. They're both over teams, 25 defenses. We got the Baker. And it doesn't matter who the receivers are. He's still winning the games because it's Baker. And the Lions have golf. Start calling him Titleist or something. Well, no, he doesn't win titles. He's call him Nike or something. Big edge to Baker. Tampa's just huge in a teaser as a road dog. Detroit, I don't know. KC ripped them a new one. Tampa, pretty good defense. You probably can go over, as they're both over teams. Or you take Tampa as the dog. Last game, Houston, Seattle. Now, again, we have 2 Monday night games. Why? I have no idea. Seattle, 3.5, 41. Houston, we got Stroud, who's terrible. Goes against Seattle, which is Darnell. I'm not sure what to think of him. After getting killed in the playoffs last year, I don't have much respect for him. Houston, great defense, an under team, a 12 defense. If you look at them, they got a 12 defense. Dallas has a 31. That's what we look for. Seattle, an 8 team, also with a good defense. I think you go under in this game. Again, picking the game, Seattle -3. Can you trust CJ Stroud and keep Houston close? No. You can trust Houston's defense to keep the game close, low scoring. You can't trust CJ Stroud. Darnold, I don't know that you can trust him. So you have this going on. A lot of bad games, a lot of bad quarterbacks. I think the league stinks. I think it's got 3 teams. I'm not even sure Buffalo anymore. They just got killed by Atlanta, who is a good team. You've got Kansas City, who looks like Kansas City again. Philly doesn't look like a good team. Washington, I lost to the fucking Bears. Detroit got killed by Kansas City. So I think there's Denver, maybe, Kansas City, Buffalo. Baltimore's won 1 game. I think the Rams are good. I think the Steelers are getting there. They're not bad. And I'm not trusting Indy or San Diego. Green Bay, I don't trust Jordan Love. He's terrible. I don't know what it is with him. He's got like nothing upstairs. He's like the guy trying to talk about debasement, which isn't even a real word. Well, it's got nothing to do with money printing. Washington's getting there. I thought their defense was better. Dallas, no defense. Tampa's pretty good. Tampa's getting there. And Seattle, so there's some good teams, but most of it just blows. All right, so I have the new stats in. So let's go through them. Pitt, an E team. Let's go through all the Z teams. Let's have fun. So the first Z team is Cincinnati, the New York Jets, Tennessee, Miami, and Cleveland, New Orleans. Those are your Z teams. A teams are hard to come by. I'll give you A and B. B, the Rams. B, Kansas City. B, New England. We have an A team in Indy, really. B team in Denver. B team with Green Bay. And an A team in Seattle. I mean, there's no, KC's a B. And the Rams, Philly's an E team. Denver's a B. Green Bay's a B. And Seattle's your A. If your A teams are Indy and Seattle, you got problems. So the league just sucks. which is what makes the betting really hard. Now, I ended up 8-1 last week. I was 7-0 on Sunday, and I split on Monday night. I had the over in the Buffalo Atlanta game, figuring, well, Buffalo's going to score, but I did think Atlanta was going to win or at least keep it close. And when it's over, yeah, I should have taken Atlanta in the points, but I thought it would be high scoring. And then I had Washington +2, and I needed it as they lost by 1 somehow, blowing a 8 or 9 point lead. Just amazing. Letting Caleb do all this shit. It's a lot of this Ben Johnson. He wants to run the Lions offense. You'd think people would know what to do. They just run left and then they run play action off of it. So they're trying to make Caleb look like he's actually a good quarterback, which he's not. So it was a great week considering how tough it was, how bad the teams are. And this London shit, we got lucky with Denver winning 13-11 because it's in London and they're all tired. So we might start betting like LA Jacksonville this week. We might start betting it under because it's in London. I'll keep an eye on that, but you're very tired. If I'm traveling to London, I need 2 days of jet lag. Now I'm assuming that LA is already there because they played Baltimore. They're not going to fly back to LA, so they're gonna go from Baltimore to London. So they should be in London already. But what kind of schedule was this? They did it with Denver. Now they're doing it with LA. Jacksonville, it's a nothing flight. They're at home, so who knows when they leave. What's the point of it? Don't tell me money. It's not anything to do with money. How much is London paying you to go there? Are you kidding me? Jacksonville loses a home game, so they're stupid. So I don't know. I really, are they making that much? Isn't the money made on TV? So is the NFL network paying them? But nobody watches. Nobody on the West Coast getting up. Maybe for LA they might. I doubt it. Nobody here is getting up to watch a 9:30 game. I do class. Nobody's watching the game. Maybe they are, but they're not. They're watching me. Very few. We start watching at 1, not at 9:30. You can't force that. You can't force people to. Well, let's throw on this shit game. Oh, by the way, it's on the NFL Network, which nobody has, and nobody's going to buy. We're in a recession. We have heavy inflation. We are not buying an NFL Network. We're not buying Paramount. We're not buying any of this bullshit networks that you want to throw some crap game on. Thank you very much. I'll watch Oakland, KC at 1 o'clock or Philly, Minnesota. I'll watch the Washington, Dallas game later, and then Tampa and then the Monday night game. Why are there 2 Monday night games? So you're fucking up 4 teams instead of 2 with this Monday night crap. And then you get a short week. So you got Buffalo, Atlanta, Chicago, Washington fucked because you played Monday night, and now they got to play, let's see, Buffalo, I believe, is off. Atlanta is at San Francisco. So they got to travel to San Francisco off of a Monday night. Chicago and Washington. Washington goes to Dallas Sunday. And then the Bears are at home to New Orleans. So the Bears get a break. They're at least at home. But you fuck Washington with a road game and you fuck Atlanta with a road game. So what is this? You play them Monday night and then you make them travel to the West Coast for Monday night for a Sunday game. Do we really need 4? Is anybody watching both games? I mean, nobody's watching both games. First of all, you can't because they're on at the same time. One's at like 7 and one's at 8. I don't really get it. I don't. So the Buffalo people were watching Buffalo, and the Atlanta people, the rest of the country was watching, the baseball game or whatever. And then maybe the Washington and Chicago people are watching that game, not watching the Buffalo, Atlanta. And the rest of the country doesn't give a fuck. So that's where you at. So that's pros. Terrible scheduling, terrible quarterback. I mean, the quarterbacks. I mean, let's go through good quarterbacks, right? Rodgers is good. Stafford, Mahomes. Bo Nix, Daniels, Penix, the 6, the Bakers, 7. That's it. You got 7 good quarterbacks. It's a pathetic league. It's terrible. They're just too much travel. Let's go to London. Let's go to Ireland. Let's go to Brazil. What the fuck is that? Is people travel? What are you trying to get travel? Is anybody from LA or Jacksonville traveling to London? They need their head examined, especially now when there's all kinds of problems at the airports. All right, let's get to the college. The other fucked up league with all these NIL. So the Penn State coach gets fired. Belichick's about to get fired. Let's see what we've got cooking for you. Did we give a free play? No, I don't think we've given out a free play yet. Oh, yeah, we have. USC plus 10.5 over Notre Dame. So plus 16.5 in a teaser. The line went down to 7.5, went up to 8.5. Let's see where it's at now. Tonight, only go through these because they're tonight. We have New Mexico against Liberty. New Mexico and under team, Liberty and under team. The line is 10 and 47. Based on this, you go under. Both teams are under teams. 20 defenses, no scoring. The next game tonight is Arkansas State, South Alabama. South Alabama is 758.5, down from 60. We have Arkansas State's a W with a 31 defense. South Alabama is an over team with a 31. So you kind of like South Alabama as an over team going against the W team at home. You can't play it over because you don't know what Arkansas State's going to do. They don't score much. But they should score a little on South Alabama. They both have 31 defenses. Florida International, Western Kentucky. This is, again, Conference USA crap. Western Kentucky, wow, went from 7 to 10. Big jump there. 55.5 down from 57. This tells me Florida International's quarterback must be out if the total dropped and everything went to Western Kentucky. Florida International with a 32 defense. Western Kentucky at 22. Florida International, a W team. Western Kentucky's B. They got a good quarterback, a Division II guy. So maybe you take Florida, Western Kentucky here. Let's see if we have news on the Florida International quarterback. Florida National just lost to Connecticut 51-10. Connecticut's a good team, but they 51-10. They lost to Delaware 38-16. Oh, yeah, and Penn State 34-0. And Western Kentucky beat Delaware 27-24. Missouri State 27-22. Nevada 31-16. Toledo, they lost 45-21. So they haven't been blowing out teams either, Western Kentucky. I'm assuming Jenkins, the quarterback, is out. I don't know. It doesn't say. Usually there's like an injury thing you can hit, but I'm not seeing the injury thing. But the fact the line went, again, Western Kentucky, they could be good tonight, but they haven't really blown out anybody, even though they have a good quarterback. All right. Tomorrow night, so God, Tuesday football. What the fuck? They're trying to get you to bet every day, and you've got to be disciplined and only bet the games you should be betting. You look at the whole list. You don't look at the day. You go, is this a bet? Fine. If it's not a bet, don't bet it just because it's on a Tuesday. You need action. You need action, go play craps. All right. Wednesday. Delaware, who's pretty good, the Michigan of the Conference USA, and Jacksonville State. Delaware, 2.5, 57.5 is a road favorite, up from 1.5. Delaware, an over team with a 26 defense. Jacksonville State's an over team with the 26 defense, so maybe we go over with this game. Both are over teams. Both have weak defenses, and the total is 57 down to 51. Could be the way to play. You maybe play Western Kentucky -4 with the over here. Maybe. I'm not, but maybe that's a play. UTEP and Sam Houston. UTEP 2.5, 47.5, and it's because Sam Houston's a Z team. So if you're looking just to bet against Z teams, take UTEP, who's a W team. So they're not great either. They have a 25 defense, Sam Houston with a 39. So you think UTEP. Well, UTEP's Texas El Paso. Sam Houston is, I guess, Houston. Or are they in the L? Is this a rivalry game? They can't even spell Bearcats right. It's Bearkats instead of Cats. Fucking idiots. All right, now we go to Thursday. Tulsa, a real team, goes to East Carolina. Tulsa's a W team, 26 defense. East Car, an A team with a 15 defense. East Car, 17 and 54. This is up from 51. East Car is a good team, good quarterback. Hauser, guy from Total Recall. And Tulsa's pretty weak, but you're laying 17. Louisville and Miami. This is a Friday game. It's a one-game Thursday. And now our Friday games, we got about 4. Louisville goes to Miami. I do not like Miller Moss, the Louisville quarterback who come from USC. Miami, they're both A teams. Miami's 13.5, 52.5. Okay, it's about where it is. Louisville with a 21 defense, Miami with the 13, just a killer defense at home. I'd say Miami gets the W here. It's a little big number, 14, but Miami's pretty good. Nebraska and Minnesota, the Big Ten Friday night game, for God knows what reason. Nebraska's up to 9.5 from 7 and a 46.5. Minnie's okay. I mean, they're a B team, 21 defense. Nebraska with an 18 defense. I'm not sold on Nebraska going on the road as 10-point favorites and winning. I think Minnie gives them a game here. 18 and 21, maybe you go under. I like going under the Nebraska type of games, Iowa games, stuff like that. And then we've got San Jose State goes to Utah State. Utah State's very explosive, 33 defense. They're just a strictly over team, and San Jose State's a W. We got Utah State 3.5, 64.5. That really hasn't moved. San Jose State just hasn't been good. No offense and a 29 defense. I like Utah State here. Giving 4, they're explosive. They somehow lost to Hawaii, but now they're at home, and San Jose State's not very good. And Friday night is the Bill Belichick's and his girlfriend go to California. Cal is 10 and 47 to the Belichick's. The Belichick's are an under team with a 25 defense. Cal is an under team with a 22. Should be an under game because North Carolina has a decent defense, can't score a point, and Cal's pretty good. They'll be jet lagged for North Carolina. I think Cal's probably a good play. The under is probably a good play. All right, I'm just going to go through the big games. Now we're at Saturday. Baylor TCU 366. This is over City. Both teams over, 29 defense, TCU 24. Just the rule of thumb is you play Baylor over every game and you win 90% of them. LSU and Vanderbilt. Vandy is 2.5, 48.5. I don't know what I do with Daggio here. I love him as a dog. LSU with the tough defense. I'm thinking it's an under game. They played Alabama. Well, let's see what that score was. I forget. I think it was 30-14 because we just covered it. Right, we had 16. Yeah, they lost 30-14 to Alabama. And South Carolina, they played a 31-7 game. LSU beat South Carolina 20-10. Ole Miss 24-19. Florida 20-10. So I think we got our answer there. 30-14 against Alabama. LSU's not going to score, but LSU will hold it. So I think this is an underplay. 49. It's a pretty big number here. LSU can't score. Vandy, we love Vandy, but it's not the right place. They're in a dog in the conference is the right place for them. As a 2-point favorite over LSU, good team. I wouldn't be surprised if Daggio wins because he's a winner, but I don't know. I think under is a little bit better than Daggio, but I do like Daggio, obviously, as you know. Arizona and Houston. Houston 1.5, 46.5. Arizona a B team, 18 defense. Houston a B team, 17 defense. This is underwritten all over it. In the MAC, Eastern Michigan's a W to Miami of Ohio is an under. Miami of Ohio 13.5, 47.5. Eastern is the W. Bowling Green 3.5, 43.5. Wow, that's down from 6. Wow. Central is also a W team. Bowling Green an E team. All right, Washington, Michigan. Michigan is 650.5. 19 defense goes against an 18 defense. Washington an A team. Only loss coming to Ohio State, but it was very close and competitive most of the game. Washington won like 24-6 or something. I mean, Ohio State didn't put up 50 on them. Washington's a very good team. They're a very live dog here. Or you can go under, as Michigan's quarterback is just not all that. He's average at best. Many teams have much better quarterbacks than Michigan's. I don't see the big deal in him. He can run. Whip-de-doo. Can he throw like Daggio? No. Well, then he loses. Michigan couldn't do anything against USC, and I'll tell you, Washington's got a better defense. So go Washington, beat Michigan. Wouldn't be surprised if Washington won. I wouldn't be surprised if it's low scoring, 24-21 or something like that. UConn and Boston College. UConn an A team, 22 defense. BC an over team, 33 defense. There's only one way to play this game, and that's over. BC, 33 defense, but they score. They got like a freshman quarterback, but he's good. UConn, their quarterback's good. They know they're scoring. It's at BC. I don't know if Connecticut's the live dog going to BC, but definitely the over is a live over. Duke, 1.5, 61.5. Going against my Georgia Tech. You got to love Haynes King getting points. This is where I like Daggio. If they were playing Duke, getting points, we'd be locking Vanderbilt. Here comes Georgia Tech in, getting points. Just got to love Georgia Tech here. Oklahoma, South Carolina. Oklahoma 5.5, 44. Oklahoma with a 9 defense held Texas down. South Carolina, an under team with a 19. They just don't score. Lenora Sellers isn't doing much. Oklahoma has, I don't know if Mateer played or not last week. I don't really care. But is he playing this week? But either way, 2 strong defenses. Again, here's another strong defense, a strong under game. This week's coming out of our as bad as the pros are to figure out, is as easy as college is getting. West Virginia, UCF 7-48. West Virginia is terrible. W 28 defense. Rich Rodriguez is back. He looks like shit. UCF's not much better with Scott Frost, who thinks Joe Burrow should be playing safety. A B team with the 17 defense. Aren't we glad that Joe Burrow ended up at LSU and not Nebraska? Jesus Christ. UCF 7-48. UCF isn't great this year, but they should be able to win at home against West Virginia. Kent State, Toledo. Kent State's a Z team. Toledo and A off of a loss, laying 24, total 52. A 15 defense for Toledo. Kent at 37. This is a good game against the Z team, this type of game. Buffalo and UMass. Buffalo 17.5, 44. Same thing. UMass is a Z team, 36 defense. Look for Buffalo to pound them pretty good. Everybody beats UMass. Even last week, I think it was Western beat them 42-6. They keep losing 42-6. This is like the 4th game. Troy and Lou Monroe. Our 3rd consecutive Z team, Lou Monroe. Troy, even team, 26 defense. Lou Monroe, a Z, 29. And Troy is 5. But I don't love Troy. This is not the type of team I like to go against the Z. But they'll probably win. Lou Monroe's terrible. Purdue goes to Northwestern. Northwestern, 3.5, 46.5. Purdue's an over team, good quarterback, good coach, 29 defense. Northwestern, an under team, 17 defense. Just beat Penn State 22-21. Go figure that out. I can't. I think Purdue's a live dog here all day. Northwestern will be counting the Penn State game. They won't even realize that they're playing Purdue. Texas State and Marshall, 2 over teams. Texas State, 2.5, 65. Marshall's been scoring. They both have 29 defenses. I would say go over. Let's go. UNLV and Boise. Boise's up to 11 from 10 and a 63 up from 62. Vegas, they're both over teams. Vegas at 29, Boise at 25. And in this case, it's because they have good offenses that they're overs. Vegas, the 25 defense is not normally an over team, but they score a lot, except for the Notre Dame game. So Boise should go over. Vegas is a very strong offensive team. And as you did see, not a great defense. So probably go over on that one. Texas A&M and Arkansas. A&M 761. A&M an A team, 20 defense. Arkansas an over team with a 30. It's at Arkansas. Probably be a close game. This one's normally played at the Jerry Dome. Let me see if it's at the Jerry Dome. Because Jerry went to Arkansas. No, this is actually at Arkansas, not at the Jerry Dome. Okay. Surprising. A&M is a good team. They went to Notre Dame and won. They're laying 7. You can cut them to 1, or you go over 62. Arkansas, very high scoring, no defense team. They're not going to stop A&M's Reed. He's a good quarterback. He runs, but he can throw. I don't like when they run and can't throw. That's when I say they're shit. Charlotte Temple. Temple is 11-47. Money going on Temple. Temple an over team with the 26 defense. Charlotte's a Z team with the 32. I told you Temple would be better and Southern Miss would be better, and they both are this year. Charlotte's a Z team, a terrible team, 32. So you can't really go over in the game with Temple, but Temple should score, and Charlotte probably get shut out here. Well, maybe they don't get shut out, but they're not going to score a lot. Let's see. Ohio State goes to Wisconsin. Ohio State down to 25. The Wisconsin money is coming in for some strange reason. 42 is the total. Ohio State an 18 with a 6 defense. Don't ignore that. Wisconsin is an under team because they don't score with the 22 defense. So normally an under would be like a 18, 19 defense. But when you scored 10 points a game, now Lou Fiegel did coach at Ohio State. So there might be some, we can win, but we're not going to cover crap going on here, which I wouldn't be surprised. I think you just take Ohio State under and, under 48 and say they'll win 27-0 or something. I doubt Wisconsin scores. Michigan State, Indiana. Indiana 26.5, 52.5, coming off their performance at Oregon. I don't think they'll be flat. I like the coach. They're at home. College is something at home. You don't usually come out flat. Michigan State's terrible. They got killed by UCLA. We had UCLA, of course. Michigan with the 31 defense. Look for Indiana just to run it down their throats, control the game. Indiana with an 11 D. This is all Indiana. Do I want to lay 21? It's a bit much. I think the number's a little high. And I don't know about over under because Indiana doesn't really play an over game. They play you under. They run the ball down your throat. It's like watching Army Navy play. And so they shorten the game and they score and, So I don't know what to do with this game. It's not that easy, the lane 21, and it's not that easy figuring, do I want to go over or under? But I don't think Michigan State's going to add anything. They couldn't score on UCLA. And I don't know if Childs, when I tuned on the game, Childs was out, their starter. So I don't know if he's just got knocked out or he was bored because he couldn't move on UCLA. I don't know. I think Indiana wins easy. SMU, Clemson 9.5, 55.5. Are you kidding me? SMU's an 18 with the 22 defense. Clemson, they fucking suck. A B team with an 18. I gotta like SMU getting 15.5. Are you kidding me? Where did they get this line from? Wow, it's insane. SMU is the better team. Clemson's already lost 3 games, including the Syracuse. They're going to go blow out SMU. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'll buy some oceanfront property in Detroit. That ain't happening. UTSA, North Texas, the over of the day, both over, both 27 defenses. North Texas, 4.5, 68, up from 67. It's simply go over. It's UTSA, North Texas. Enough said. Old D and James Madison. This is A versus A. James Madison is down to 1.5. This was 3. 47.5. James Madison, a 13 defense. Old D, a 20 defense. Normally, I like the dog A versus A in this type of game. Ole Miss goes to Georgia. Georgia is 7-55 is the total. Ole Miss an 18 with a 19 defense. Georgia an 18 with the 17 defense. Georgia's starting to play defense. They're starting to figure out how to win again. They lost to Alabama because the coach didn't take his head out of his ass, and didn't kick a field goal to tie the game with 8 minutes left. I mean, these coaches are so fucking stupid. Well, let's go. It's 4th and 2. You're at the 10. You're down 3. Kick your field goal. No, we're going to go for it because, even if we get the first down, we'll probably kick a field goal anyway. But this way we get to put the risk in of getting the first down, of not getting the first down and losing the game. Isn't that much better? Our reward is we get the first down, and then 3 plays later, we kick the field goal. We're playing Alabama. We're playing to win. No, you're not. You're playing to lose. You don't understand risk and reward. The risk versus the reward is 0. You should kick the field goal and tie the fucking game up, and then you would be undefeated. It's just stupidity. Ole Miss, their quarterback. A running quarterback, but he's not like A&M's who can throw. He's no Davio who can throw. Ole Miss is just a running quarterback. Georgia will eat him alive. Excuse me. 2 decent defenses, a 19 and a 17. I'm going to go under in this game, 55. I don't see them getting points. Texas Tech goes to Arizona State. Texas Tech 11.5, 48. We've got to check on the quarterback, Levitt. He didn't play last week. So we'll have to see. All right. We'll have to see, but if he's out, we take Texas Tech. It looks like he's out. Texas Tech's 11-48. They got a great running back. Now, Morton got hurt in the game last week against Kansas, so I don't know if he's playing or not. I don't know the extent of the injury, but judging by it's 11, it must not be too bad. And it looks like Levitt's out for Arizona State. That's the case. We go Texas Tech. They're a top 5 team. Old Mississippi State and Florida. Florida 8.5, 51.5. I don't know how Florida's 8.5 points over anybody in conference. Mississippi State's an A team with a 19 defense. Florida, an under team with a 19. Florida showed nothing against LSU, showed nothing against Miami. They finally beat, Texas? Big deal. Florida at home is better. Again, this is another under game. 2 low-scoring teams. Mississippi State's shown a good defense, as Florida. I just love this SEC. Play the defense unless it's Tennessee. Tennessee and Alabama, which do play each other, are the two they can score for you. Southern Miss, Lou Lafayette. Southern Miss, a road favorite, 454. I'm so proud of my Southern Miss team. Now they're road favorites. They're both over. The total's 54. I think it's a joke. Go over in this game. Oregon, Rutgers. Oregon 17.5, 60.5. Wow, this jumped. Oregon was 14, is now 17. Wonder who got injured. And 60.5. The total really was 59. So I don't know if it's an injury or what. Oregon off the loss to Indiana. Goes to Rutgers, but Rutgers is not Rutgers. They're not this strong, let's run the ball and play defense. They are more scoring a lot. Oregon, I don't know. Oregon with the 15 defense, Rutgers at 27. I think it's an over game. I think Rutgers scores on them. Oregon will be tired from the jet lag. And this is a 6:30 game for them. So they're getting a good time. So it's 3:30 for them. So it's a good time. I don't know if I lay 17. Rutgers can score, but I'm not going to take Rutgers. But Oregon, Dante Moore's terrible. I'm sorry. He's not a good quarterback. And you can see it. Losing to Indiana, he had a couple of turnovers. as did Indiana through a pick six, which gave us the over. So we think that. Washington State against our Virginia. Virginia 17-56. Washington State's a W with a 28 defense. Virginia, great quarterback, an over team of 23. I would go over, but I don't know what kind of help I'm getting from Washington State. And therefore, then Virginia will put up 40 and Washington State can't answer. So it becomes what kind of help are you getting in the over? So we know Virginia's going to score, but if Washington State doesn't score, then we don't go over. And if they don't keep the game close, we don't go over. It's got to be a close game. You do not get an over on a 34-0 score. It doesn't go over. So you need 28-28 to get to an over. And I doubt Washington State's going to give it to you. Who did they play last week? They played Ole Miss 24-21, which is giving me the Ole Miss Georgia game under because Washington State, and then not only that, they lost 24-21. Wow. Oh, no, Washington State lost. So Ole Miss won 24-21. Against Washington, they lost 59-24. Against North Texas, they lost 59-10. They beat Colorado State. So all of a sudden, they play Ole Miss close after giving up 59 to North Texas in Washington and then a 24 to Ole Miss. So Washington State, they're not going to stay with Virginia, which means Virginia's going to score, which means I'm more apt to take Virginia minus 11 than go over 50 with my quarterback. I know it's going to be another 59-10 game. All right. All right. Hawaii and Colorado State. Colorado State, I think, changed quarterbacks. They're laying 2.5, 54. Hawaii is a B team. They put up a number on Utah State. So they're scoring. Colorado State, I think Hawaii is a live dog in the game based on what they did against Utah State. It is on the road at Colorado State. Keep an eye on that. Texas goes to Kentucky. You're giving me another under. Texas 12.5, which I don't know why. Kentucky 27 defense, Texas an 11, total of 44. I like the under. Texas, Oklahoma, nothing happened. Kentucky, usually with a good defense in that. Let's see what's going on with Kentucky here. 27 defense. That's unlike them. Arch Manning's pathetic. Give me a break. So Texas loses to Florida 29-21, beats Oklahoma in our double lock under 23-6 to Texas wins. Sam Houston, UTEP, a bunch of crap, and Arch Manning couldn't do shit against crap. Kentucky, they lose to Ole Miss 30-23. I'm just going to talk in conference. They lose to South Carolina 35-13 and lose to Georgia 35-14. So where is this game? Texas. So I don't know that I can play it under. I think Kentucky won't score. But they gave up 35 to South Carolina and to Georgia. I think Texas gets somewhere near there. I think this is a Texas play. And I don't think it's under. It might be because of Texas. Texas with the 11 defense. So if Texas gets 35-13 to 48, yeah, I guess it stays under. That probably would be close to the score, 35-14 with Georgia. So I think Texas gets in the 30s. Kentucky gets nothing. So it's still probably an under game or a Texas game. But Texas off the Oklahoma game could be flat. Maryland, UCLA. UCLA is 2.5 and 52.5. UCLA's just turned. They bring in that nice Heisel's kid as the offensive coordinator, and they beat Michigan State 38. They put 42 up on Penn State. This is not the same team. This is not the same quarterback. This is a new offensive coordinator, and he's lighting it up. And you must understand they've changed. They are not blue anymore. They are red or they are green, but they are not the same team you looked at. So here, UCLA is 2.5. Are you kidding? You got to love UCLA here. Maryland's got to travel. Well, let's take a look at Maryland. Can they possibly stay in this game? And I don't think so. All right, Maryland lost to Nebraska 34-31. Lost to Washington at home 24-20. Beat Wisconsin 27-10. That's it. They played 3 games against any type of competition. And so they scored 27, 20, 31 on Nebraska. So they are scoring decent. They gave up 10 to Wisconsin, who has no offense, and then 24 to Washington, who has a great offense, and 34 to Nebraska. UCLA, we can only look at the last 2 games, 42-37 Penn State, 38-13 Michigan State. So does Maryland have an offense? That's the question. And can they stay? Do we go over 46? Or is UCLA just dominating at home and they're gonna kill them because this game is at 7 o'clock. So for Maryland, it'll be a late game. For UCLA, it's 4 o'clock. Interesting. So I think UCLA wins it. I think it goes over. Penn State, Iowa. What do we do with this shit? Iowa 39.5. Penn State gone. Is the quarterback out? I think he hurt his leg. Iowa certainly can't score. Penn State, coach is gone. Are they happy the coach is gone? I hear a lot of them are transferring. I don't know. What should be an under? I don't know. It's an under. I don't know if Penn State even shows up and who their coach is. Probably the defensive coordinator. This is a game you cannot play because you do not know what Penn State's team's going to be. We know they lost 2 in a row. We bet them. We locked them, and they fucking lost to Northwestern. So now they've lost 3 in a row, including at home to Northwestern. The odds on them beating Iowa is slim and none. But I'm just going to walk away from that. Florida Atlantic goes to South Florida. South Florida 21.5, 73.5. Holy Christ. Florida Atlantic an over team, 33 defense. South Florida an over team, 24, 73. I do not smell what they're cooking there. This number hasn't changed. I don't know if Florida Atlantic can really score like this, and we're going to take a look. All I do is hit into the game, and then it brings up their past results, which is really what I want to see. And I want to throw out the high school game. So like Florida Atlantic beat Florida A&M. So I don't want to see that game. So they lost to Florida International. They give up 55 to Memphis, played a 27-21 with Rice, which makes sense. And then beat UAB 53-33. So they've had one big game, 53 on UAB, Rice 27, Memphis, they scored 26. They did give up 38 to Florida International. They did give up 55 to Memphis and UAB 33. I'm not seeing a 50-point team here, just the one on UAB. And I am seeing a weak defense. So Florida Atlantic, yeah, the 33 defense is about right. An over team, I'm not quite sure because we baked in the 56 against Florida A&M. So we got to take that out. It's 28, 26, 27, and 53. Probably in the 30s. It's still an over, but not like that. South Florida beats North Texas 63-36. Charlotte, they put up 54 on, who's a Z team. Miami, they lose 49-12, and they beat Florida 18-16. So if they get good competition, they're not an over team. However, Charlotte is a team. North Texas, who's a pretty good team, 63-36. So I look for South Florida to score a lot. I don't know about 73. Florida Atlantic, I mean, they got killed by Memphis. Florida International beat them by 10. And then really just the UAB game, they won by 20. Florida, Atlanta. Who's their quarterback? Veltkamp against Brown. No running, decent receivers. So Veltkamp's okay. I don't know if I don't like the over 73 here. I think if South Florida goes off, they're going to cover the 21. I don't know that Florida Atlantic's going to keep up. And because they have a 33 defense, I think South Florida does put up 50 points in this game. I don't know if we'll get this. We could get, it's a big number, and Florida Atlantic is, if you take out the Florida A&M game, is not really an over team. All right. I thought I saw that move, but I don't know. I guess not. All right. Our free pick, Notre Dame, 9.5, 61.5. So I rushed to bet the game at 10.5, and now it's back to 9.5. Interesting. Now we need to check the injuries, but based on from what I saw, I didn't see any injuries, and I was watching USC Michigan all the way to the end. Notre Dame 9.5, 61.5. Maybe you go over, but our free pick is USC, and at this point, 15.5. USC is too dominant. They're 5-1. Who did they lose to? USC. Oh, they lost to Illinois 34-32 in a noon game. Otherwise, they pounded Michigan State, beat a good Purdue team, Georgia Southern, and then Michigan 31-13. So explain to me why they're getting 9.5 and why they can't beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to A&M. They lost the first game, but it's not on here, to Miami. They beat Purdue. Okay, that's nothing. Arkansas, okay. Boise and NC State. So their defense is getting better. Arkansas, a good offensive team. Boise, a good offensive team. And NC State, a good offensive team. They're holding down. But I don't smell that USC is going to get blown out here. No chance. Let me check the other site, the scores and odds. Now, I would think over before, because Notre Dame was playing over games, but lately they're not, so I'm going to respect that. Let's see what the other casinos are doing. So we got USC, Notre Dame 9.5, 9.5, 8.5 at DraftKings, 9.5, 8.5, 9.5, 9.5, 8.5, and there's a 10 at Three Rivers or something. I don't know. So there are 8.5s and there are 9.5s. Enough said. They're a very live dog, USC, obviously, if I'm giving it as a free pick. It's now 9.5. I'm just shocked that Notre Dame, I think the USC money comes in on the weekend, and this will be down to 7.5, maybe. I don't really get why Notre Dame is such a big favorite. USC is a very good team this year. The fact they lost to Illinois because it was 9 in the morning, and they lost on a last-second kick. Otherwise, they just beat Michigan, who's got a hell of a defense, at least as good as Notre Dame's. All right. Tennessee and Alabama. Alabama 8.5, 58.5. Down from 60, which I like. I like the game over. Tennessee puts up 40 on Georgia. That's it. All right. Tennessee, an over team, 29 defense. Alabama, an 18 with the 17. I guarantee you Tennessee puts up 30, and I guarantee you Alabama puts up in the 30s also. They're starting to score. Go over in the game, 58. Do I take Alabama minus 2.5? I don't know. Maybe. But I think there'll be points. I think it's more prudent to go over. Tennessee's seen them. They play them every year. It's not, Joey Aguilar. Again, the keys, they put up 40 on my Georgia team. And they got out with like 35 points right away. You must respect that. And if they can do that to Georgia, they can do that to Alabama. And there's more. What do you need here? 58. That's 52. I need 28, 24. No problem. Thank you very much. All right. So go over Alabama, Tennessee. Pitt and Syracuse. Pitt 11.5, 54.5. Syracuse quarterback's out with an Achilles. They've gone to the backup. Pitt just beat Florida State. They got a good quarterback, pretty good offense. Winning 11. Syracuse at home will be okay. Syracuse an over team with the 29 defense. Pitt an 18 with the 21. Total of 54. Yeah, 11.5, 54. Geez, I kind of like Pitt, but they just played Florida State. Be a little flat. And they're at Syracuse. Total Pitt scores. I'm not sure Syracuse does with their backup quarterback. Keep an eye on that. But then because of the backup, maybe we take Pitt. Very good game here. Missouri. Missouri's at Auburn. Missouri's a 1.5 point favorite, 43.5. Auburn has been the favorite. Missouri, the A team, 16 defense. Played Alabama 24-21 last week. They lost, but played them good. Haven't really beaten anybody yet, Missouri. Auburn, an under team, very good. 17 defense. Another game, another SEC under, I believe. Auburn doesn't score a lot, has a good defense. Missouri, very good defense, held Alabama to 24. We thought they had a good offense, but they really don't. They run the ball well. So I see this going under. Big game here. Utah, BYU. This is a big rivalry. This is a Michigan-Ohio State rivalry in Utah. Utah 3.5, 49.5. I really don't understand Utah being favored, and I really don't understand this game going higher, not lower. This is a very good under game. Both teams are A teams. Utah 13, BYU 14, both with wicked fucking defenses. This is another strong under game. Cincinnati, Oak State. Cincinnati is 21-57, up from 20. The Sharps betting on Cincinnati. Oak State is a Z team. They fired the coach. The quarterback's a freshman, and he's not very good. Cincinnati, an A team, beat my Kansas and then beat Iowa State, those motherfuckers. A 19 defense, an A team, 19 defense, and Oak State's a Z with the 36. Total of 57. You take Cincinnati, laying 21. Is it too much to lay on the road, even though it's a conference game and even though they're a Z team? So maybe you take a little Cincinnati. I don't know that you can see. You look at it, Cincinnati's going to score because they got a 36 defense. But Oak State's not going to score for you. So it's hard to go over because you're going to get Cincinnati. So how do you go over on it? Let's see. last game, Florida State, Stanford. Florida State 17-54. I got. Florida State has to travel to Stanford, California. It's a 10:30 game. Are you fucking kidding me? Florida State 23 defense. They're an over team. Stanford with the 30 defense. So Florida State, after 3 losses in a row, if they don't win this one, I'd be absolutely stunned. Laying 17, lay 11. It's at Stanford. The only problem is the travel. But as we saw Sunday, there wasn't any travel. The Rams won at Baltimore. San Diego won. What was the other one? In the pros, there was another. San Diego won, the Rams won, and what was the other? We had Denver won at London. We had the Rams win. We had Seattle. That's the other one. Seattle won at Jacksonville. San Diego won. So it had nothing to do with the travel going west to east. Didn't appear to hurt anybody. So I'm not going to play that. Florida State going to Stanford with 3 losses in a row. Go Florida State, beat Stanford, beat Navy. 17, you lay 11. Florida State's, they should kill them. Stanford with the 30 defense, and they don't score. So I don't know that Stanford's all of a sudden gonna. This is a conference game. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's see if there's any possibility Stanford scores in the game and makes it anything competitive. Stanford's quarterback, Goldbertson, is terrible. He was at Oregon State last year. So Pitt with 3 losses in a row to Virginia, Miami, and Florida State lost to Virginia, Miami, and Pitt. The only game they won was Alabama of all teams, right? Oh, yeah, and they beat Kent. Yeah. Stanford. Now they lost to BYU 27-3. They beat BC 30-20. My Virginia beat them 48-20. They beat San Jose State, and SMU beat them 34-10. At home, they beat San Jose State and BC. The 3 losses against the good teams were all on the road. BYU, Virginia, and SMU. 34-10. They gave up 48 to Virginia, 27-3 to BYU. So they scored 30 on BC, and 30 on San Jose State, he's not all that. I don't know. Can they do it? But it's weird. Florida State beat Alabama. And they lost to my Virginia team. They lost to Miami, and then they lost the close one to Pitt, which I cleverly played over, even though they lost 2 in a row. So now they lost 3 in a row. This is like black keeps hitting, we bet red. No, we don't bet red. We keep betting black. But in this case, Stanford's so bad, I can't bet Stanford to beat Florida State, which would be betting black. Black keeps hitting, the bet would be Stanford because you keep betting against them. It's like betting Iowa, Penn State. You're betting Penn State's lost 3 in a row, and we'll bet against them. It works in baseball where we bet the black. We keep betting black until red hits. Football is a little different animal. You can't keep doing that because of the schedule, especially college. But does Stanford have a chance? Getting 11, I don't know. It is late. It is flying to California. That's the negative. And the fact that they've lost 3 in a row is kind of the positive. They didn't get blown out. They lost to Miami 28-22, my Virginia 46-38, and Pitt 34-31. So they scored. So the question then becomes, can Stanford score? they put up 30 on BC and 30 on San Jose State, who are not strong teams. Let's see, I think I have BC. BC is a 33 defense. So, oh, geez, they scored 30 points on a 33 defense. And then San Jose State, I got here somewhere. There's so many games. So, I don't know. I'm not going to find them unless it's a fluke. No, I don't. I'm not going to worry. But I mean, that's the only time they score at home. You know, BC came from the East Coast. San Jose State is a California team. So is Stanford any good? I don't know. Judging by Florida State's losses, I would, against good teams, I would think that they are going to be fired up. And you live the 11, and it's, it's probably 70-30 they cover the 11. So there you have it. So many good games, a lot of good totals. Free pick USC now back up to 9.5 and 8.5 against Notre fucking Dame. I'm sorry, USC's too good this year. Maivia is too good. You got the offense. You got a fairly good defense. Notre Dame, yes, they're playing better defensively. I don't know if they got a player back or what, but they played two good teams in A&M and Miami and lost. Then they played Boise, I guess a decent team, and then Arkansas, who has no defense. So I'll be shocked if USC, if this game isn't 31-30 or a very close game. So go take USC getting the 15.5, 16.5 against Notre Dame. Like I say, it could lose, but it's a great bet. USC, I don't know. People aren't giving Maivia credit. They're not. And Lincoln Riley looks like real, and they just beat the hell out of Michigan. What do you want? They just beat Michigan. So I don't know. I'm just scratching my head with this line. This line is so bad. This is where all my powers come in, being analytical, but then being a very, what do we call it? Intuitive. This isn't intuitive. This is a feel game for me. I'm looking at it going, there's no way Notre Dame's blowing out USC. And that's what you're saying. It's 9.5. We get 15.5. We're going to lose with USC. I got to bet it. If it loses, it loses. But, I mean, any bet can lose. But look at Buffalo last night. I laid away from Buffalo. I should have taken Atlanta, but I played the over, which I'm shocked. That didn't hit. Where was Buffalo's offense? I figured they would lose because they don't have a defense, but that's ridiculous. All right, so that's it. I don't know what the free pick is in the pros yet, but I do tell you that USC is the free pick in college. Let's see if I can quickly come up with a free pick in the pros. Let's see who we got as a live dog. Maybe Miami. Denver probably. All right, let's use the over in the Dallas game again. Dallas, Washington, over 53. So you go over 47, which means we need a 31-30 game, which is a 60. We don't even need that. We need 28-20 is a 48. Yeah, we'll have that by halftime. All right, so there's your free play. Take the over in the Dallas-Washington game. Seems like a good. Daniels off the loss. They played, what did they play to the Bears? 25-25. They played a 49 with the Bears, which would get you a winner. And that's exactly what the total was, 49. So 54 in a Dallas game. They fucking played Carolina. Dallas, Carolina was a 57, 30-27. I don't know where Carolina got 30 points. But that was 57. Okay, and here you got a real quarterback in Daniels, and all we need's 47. So there you go. Free pick, Dallas, Washington over. Pretty much keep free picking Dallas over. Will be fun. You'll make a lot of money. Shocked with the USC. What was my line? Did I even throw a line, or I saw the 10 and got all excited? I've already bet USC. Yeah, I never did a line. I didn't have, I'm finding it. I don't have time to go through the line make my college line at this point and then do it. I can kind of eyeball it and going Notre Dame maybe by 3, 4, not 10. So I can kind of eyeball that and know it's a bad line. I don't understand it. Unless Mayavi is out, which I don't. I saw him play at the end of the Michigan game. I'm not under any assumption he got hurt in the last 2 minutes handing the ball off. So as far as I know, he's playing. If we find he's not, then that'll be a thing. But the line went from 10 down to 7.5, 8.5, and now back to 8.5, 9.5. So I think he's playing. We will see. Anyway, so that's your football. Gold and silver, let's check it out. It's been on a nice run, and it'll stay on a nice run. There we go again. 51.79 silver and 41.45 gold. Again, we keep looking at it strangely because we see the 45. And we're going, oh, go up. Wait, it was 3,900. It was 4,000. It's 41.45. So it just keeps going. It's going to go to 45. It's going to go to 5. It's going to go to 10. It won't do it at one swoop, but it's going to keep doing this, 50, 80. And as you saw yesterday, when you saw it jump, there's going to be shortage coming because these guys are idiots. They're playing it like a stock. So they see it go up and they think, oh, it's too high. We're going to short it. But they don't get it. It's not too high. It's demand because the dollar's worthless. So you do not play gold and silver as you would play Microsoft that goes up 5 points in a day and then you short it because it's gone up 5. It's going to come back down. Gold and silver is not coming back down. It's headed up. Up. It is not ever headed down at this level because we'll get a physical price. So keep in mind, we do not have a physical price of gold. This price is not a physical price. So if you understand that, it's a paper price. Oh, by the way, we have to get rid of paper because this is worthless. So if we understand that, you never get out of gold for dollars. So again, realize this has no value because you keep printing it. And it is not being debased, it's being inflated. But that'll screw up the government from telling you inflation is rising prices. It's not. It's the dollar losing its value, and it simply takes more dollars to buy Cocoa Krispies. But it isn't the price going up of the Cocoa Krispies that's the inflation. It's the money losing value. And right now the money has no value. So to hold on to things priced in money, like that's why your house. So will the economic system collapse? No, the dollar will collapse, but the economic system will never collapse. It's me and you going to work, getting paid, taking that money and spending it at stores and shops and going on trips, which is how the economy works. But if the government's destroying the piece that is how we interact, how we get paid, and how we buy things, and you're destroying this, all that has to happen is you come up with a new one backed by gold. BRICS are doing it. China, Russia, they're all India, Saudi Arabia. They're all going to a gold-backed currency, which is why the U.S. is at war with all of them, because we're crying because we're so stupid that we haven't figured out gold yet. I don't know how you can't. And so they realize we don't have gold. We realize if we compete with this piece of crap against gold, we lose every time. So they don't want BRICS coming up. And that's why there's all these wars. It's all about gold. Everything always is about money and gold. So you have a house and it's going to be worthless in dollars. So everything in dollars goes to zero until we get the new currency, which will be gold back if they got a brain in it. If they don't, it won't be worth anything. You got 3 months till everybody realizes, well, this is crap too. If it ain't backed by gold, we don't have it. So the new currency, so you come out with a USD number 2, not backed by gold, it's crap too. Russia's done that. They're on their 8th ruble. So Russia gets ruble number 1 and they collapse, and then they come out with 2, and that lasts for a little bit, but it's not backed by gold. And then it's 3. Now they're up to ruble 8. And this is worthless. But now they're getting smart. They're getting it. They got the gold to back the currency. And that's what BRICS has done. So BRICS is winning the game. BRICS BRICS gets it. The West doesn't. Europe, Germany, Italy, France, the UK, Spain, Canada, the US, they don't get it. Well, we'll just keep printing the money because we got idiots like Jim Rickards who says you can just keep printing the money. You know, there's no problem if you keep printing money. Because I'm the dumbest fucking idiot in the world. Because if you keep printing it, you know, you can just keep printing more. It has no value, Jim. You're a fucking moron. Well, I don't know, Howard. You know, I did work for the government. Well, there you go. Now I know you're an idiot. Again, listening to attorneys is not the best thing in business. So you cannot keep printing and printing and printing. It doesn't work that way. The more you print, the less it's worth. So if you listen to these MMT idiots, we're going to be broke. So we go to war to stop the recession, to stop the debt, to try to sell weapons. I don't know what the fuck it is. War is the worst and the stupidest thing you could possibly do in a recession. It doesn't get you out of a recession. It buries you because it's just cost. There's no revenue in a war. It's just cost. You buy the weapons, you buy the bullets, you buy the planes, you buy this, you buy that. Where are you getting the money from? Well, we're just going to print it out of thin air. Okay, well, good luck to you. And when you're broke, good luck to you. And that's basically it. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's what's happening, basically. Just keep buying your gold. Just keep Rumpelstiltskin getting out of dollars into gold, turning your dollar into gold, and off the life the Titanic. Do not get back on the Titanic. There is no profit taking in my class. You do not profit take gold and silver. You can profit take stocks and Bitcoin and all the bullshit paper stuff, but you cannot profit take gold and silver because that means you're selling gold to get back in the dollars. That's wrong because that's what you're trying to get out of We're trying to get out of dollars and into gold and silver because there's the only choice. If I get out of dollars, I go into gold and silver, or a Rolex or a Mantle card. That's it. You're not going into bonds and stocks and mutual funds and annuities and real estate trusts. No. Those are all made off. You will lose 100% in those. So you don't get into those. You go directly to gold and silver, go directly into a safe place, not in a bank, not in the Social Security, a safety deposit box. You go into some security place where you can lock it up and it's safe. Now, it depends on what you have. Egon's like, oh, get it out of your jurisdiction. Where are we going to go? I'm not taking half my stuff to Switzerland. I don't have that much. I have a good pile, but I don't have tons. I don't have big gold bars. I mean, so no, I'm not going to Switzerland. And hopefully we'll be able to fly where we want. So if we want to go move to Switzerland or go move to Singapore or whatever, we'll be able to do that. Do we want to stay here? Fuck no. Not with Trump and the idiots. This is not the safest place and the money's worthless. I'd rather be in BRICS where the money's gold back. I don't have to worry about it. So we'll see. I have to investigate that. But anyway, it's a catastrophe here. We're in a big, major recession. Nobody will say it. We have huge inflation, much more than 3%. Inflation, again, is not prices. You're inflating the money supply, so the money is not worth anything. When you go to the grocery store, the steaks are $20, the cornflakes are $7. Even the fruit, I notice, are starting to come down a little. It's all way overpriced, but it's not really. It's the money isn't worth anything. So it's not really overpriced. It's just the money has no value. So it takes more dollars to buy it, not prices are going up. So as soon as you understand that concept, you run to the gold store, you buy it. If he has gold and silver there. My guy has silver, has no gold. Now, I don't know if he got some in, but he would get it when customers would come in and sell the gold to him, and then he'd put it on display. He'd mark it up $100 premium, and he'd make $100. Not too smart, but okay. But now nobody's coming in selling, so he doesn't have gold to sell. So pretty soon he will have to take off. It's like I get 97%. If I'm being in an Eagle, it's 4,100 times 97% is what I'll get. I won't get a full spot, which is, I think, ridiculous. So we'll see. We'll see if he changes his tune and starts saying, yeah, I'll give you 100%. All right, our last look, 51.74 silver and 41.46 gold. Again, it was 4,000, so we got to 41.80. They're playing their games, and then look, at the end of the day, it's still coming up. The best way to explain it, the price went down so the U.S. could buy cheap. So when you see gold going from 41.30 to 41.05, it's so the U.S. can buy at 41.05, which is what they've done. They buy at 41.05. It's now 41.46. So they've been buying cheap. If we look at silver, silver had climbed to 53.50. It's now 51.73, which is incredible and bullshit. It went down from 53.50 to 52.50 to 51. What the fuck is that? Then it goes back to 52, and then at 10 o'clock it goes down to 50.50. And again, then the US at 10 o'clock starts buying at 50.50, and now it's 51.74. So they keep getting discounts. They buy at 50.50, and it's 51.74. So don't be fooled. That's what's happening. It's price fixed. It's paper gold. It's not even physical. And just realize the physical is 10 times more. That's why you get out of everything, paper, stocks, real estate, all that. Let's take a look and see what the fake stock market's doing. I was watching something and they say, oh, the government is buying shares of X amount of stocks. Government doesn't have any money. They don't control it. Here we got 351 to 46,000. This is the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. There's no way that's real. So keep that in mind. So anyway, I think that's it. Trying to think. So now we have a better site on football like we do on gold. Gold, we have a very good site. We know exactly what's going on. Comex is very much manipulated, but since it's now bricks running the gold keeps going up because they keep buying it. And they keep buying it from Comex, and Comex has to settle in gold and silver, which they can't because they don't have any. So Comex is basically blown up. Paper dollars understand the difference between paper gold and physical gold, and right now it's priced in paper, but it's really worth a lot more because there's very little there's a lot less physical gold and silver than the paper, because the paper is just bullshit. It's like, oh, it's 4%. It's only 4% physical goes into these contracts. So they're all horseshit. And so you understand that they're trying to price it in paper, but if you own physical, there's very limited physical gold and physical silver. So the price has to be much higher. So I conservatively say 10 times higher. I don't figure out how many dollars there are and how many ounces of gold and all that bullshit. This is all free market. This is all more people are going to buy it because they got to get out of the dollar, because the first concept is the dollar's worthless because you printed it to death. So that's all it is. You don't, oh, there's so many dollars and so much gold and divide it out and that's how much it's worth. No. That's bullshit. Even taking 10 is, I'm not sure right, but so I got 41,000 now for gold and silver over 500. And I don't know what they're doing with silver, trying to hold it down. It doesn't make sense. It's already broke 50. It's about to break 100. So you guys can play your games, but we're not that stupid here. I think that's about it. So have a good day. Buy your gold and silver before it's gone, before you can't find it. Keep in mind, China's got 75,000 tons of it. Russia's 20, India's 30, Saudi Arabia's 20. Those in the know have, 20,000 tons. And it's not central banks alone. It's central banks, it's pension funds, it's the military, it's the people. That's what China, Russia, India is all a bunch of jewelry. I explained yesterday, you'd rather buy the coin than the jewels, because this gold was $250 an ounce. I bought this and it cost $550. Well, had I bought coins, I could have got 2 ounces for the same price. But I paid for the design and the workmanship and putting it together, the little, so I paid for that. But I'm not getting my money out of it. At least I don't know. I mean, can I sell the bracelet as a bracelet, or do I sell it as gold? I don't know. I mean, the jewels, it's another Ponzi scheme where they market way up and you want to buy gold, but really the best way to buy gold is coins, not jewelry. But I know in India and China, it's wedding season and they use the gifts are jewelry, and so you want 22 karat. But again, you're better off buying a coin because you're paying for the design, the artist, and them making the necklace or the bracelet. And you're gonna pay, it's 4,100 now, 4,140 for gold. You're gonna pay maybe 5,000 for an ounce of gold. This is an ounce of gold. And like I said, it was $2.50 an ounce. I paid $5.50. So I paid double what the spot price was at the time. Now it doesn't matter because it's 18 carats. It's worth 3/4 of an ounce. So an ounce at 4,000, this is worth 3,000. And again, I paid 500 for it. So happy times. But that's not why I did it. It was my master's present program. My master's present to myself was going to be a class ring, but they didn't have any class rings that were gold, and they were $800. I said, fuck, I can get this for 500. That's real gold. I just completed Austrian economics. I know gold's the way to go. And that's it. So that's what I did. Anyway, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. The internet stayed for us pretty much. Free pick again, Dallas over, and USC getting 15.5, 16 points in a rivalry game. That's just a joke. I know they just beat Michigan. They're not going to struggle with Notre Dame like that. I'm sorry, Notre Dame's defense is not any better than Michigan's. They have a quarterback's okay, but USC's got the better quarterback, the better offensive coach, and Lincoln Riley, and he should be able to figure out the score on Notre Dame. I think USC can win, or at least it'll be a 3-point game, and we're getting 15, 16 points. Thank you. A lot of very good games this weekend. What's today? Tuesday. I'll start posting probably tomorrow. www.teaserking.com, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Have a good day, everybody. I'll try to stop talking. All right. Enjoy. Time for lunch and then the pool. All right. Take care. Have a nice day.